just trying to survive and learn to love along the way by Foreplay on AO3. Episode 76, Chapter 76 of Picnics and a Cake. Hey Izu, wanna go on a walk? Izuku and Hitoshi had just finished their second film of the morning. Sounds fun, just let me get changed. Izuku almost asked if they could invite Shouta as well, but he bites his tongue. Something about the way Toshi asked seemed different than usual. Alright, meet you downstairs. Izuku nods at him, and Toshi leaves him alone. He has no clue what to wear. It's not unusual for them to go on walks around campus, but most of the time they have Shouta with them as well. Toshi looked serious when he asked him though, so Izuku doesn't think this is as casual as their usual walks. They've been a lot closer lately, so Izuku thinks this may be leading up to the next step in their relationship. He'll feel a bit of a fool if it isn't, but if it is, then his dads would be proven right, and Izuku would still look like a fool for not believing them. He wasted enough time standing around, so Izuku just threw on his nicest t-shirt and jeans and raced downstairs. As expected, Toshi is already there, waiting for him. He stands by Izuku's dad at the corner. There's a smile on both their faces as they watch Kaminari and Sero make a mess in the kitchen as they attempt to bake a cake. Too bad his other dad is out right now. He would have been an excellent help. Toshi turns to him with a red face when Izuku moves to the kitchen, and with a small wave to his dad, they head out of the dorms and in the direction of one of the fields. They don't talk much as they walk, and Toshi is so red that Izuku wants to ask if he's sick. Their hands brush together as they walk, and Izuku wants nothing more than to grab his friend, but he resists. Toshi stops them when they reach probably the biggest tree on campus, and sets down the basket he carried in on his other hand. His friend lays out a blanket on the grass, and settles down onto it, before continuing to dig through the basket. Need any help with that? Toshi looks up, still red in the face. That's okay, Izuku. You can sit anywhere. Izuku chooses to sit right next to his friend, and peer into the basket in his lap. I've never been on a picnic before. Toshi grins at him, as he hands Izuku a sandwich. Once we're allowed to leave, there's a really nice park I could take you to. It's a date. Izuku tries to focus on a sandwich, but he can tell that Toshi is looking at him, so he looks back up as well. Do you mean that? Izuku nods, a little lost at words. He takes a bite of his food to excuse his silence, but he can't let it go on forever. I really like you, Toshi. His friend looks shocked, but there's a pleasant look in his eyes. His blush still hasn't gone anywhere, and Izuku can feel the matching one on his cheeks. Hitoshi leans a little closer, so he puts down his sandwich in anticipation. That's good, because I like you too. Hitoshi leans in the last few centimeters and pushes his lips to Izuku's. Kissing is nothing like he imagined. He doesn't really know how to move his lips, but Hitoshi seems just as lost as he is. It's perfect. Izuku feels weightless, like all his worries have slipped away. Does everyone feel like this for their first kiss? It only lasts a few seconds, but when they pull apart, they're both flushed and grinning. Toshi looks just as free as Izuku feels. The weightless feeling increases, and Izuku realizes with a start that Hitoshi's getting further away. Technically, it's him that's getting further. Hitoshi looked panicked as Izuku floats up, and he frantically grabs for tree branches on his way. The lower ones snap as his hands clasp around them, and in his panic, Izuku only starts to move faster. He's clawing at the trees, but nothing really holds. Izuku could feel the blood welling up from where he tore his hand on the branches, and he could feel the stinging on his face and arms from where he passed others by. He manages to get a solid grip on one of the thicker limbs, and Izuku watches as his maybe boyfriend climbs up the tree after him. He reaches out a hand, and Izuku desperately tries to grab it, but his own is slicked with blood and sweat, and he slips away. Izuku's definitely panicking now. He doesn't have a lot of tree left. What will he do if he can't grab onto something? Float away forever? His back smacks onto a particularly thick branch, and Izuku's world flips. He can see the blue through the tree line, and he keeps going up and up. Izuku breaks through the top, and prepares to float into oblivion, but a tug on his shoulder stops him. He cranes his neck and finds Toshi, one arm wrapped around a branch, while the other is fisted in Izuku's shirt. Don't move. Izuku meets his panicked gaze and nods, not breaking eye contact. They're moving forward with a public trial for Endeavor. Detective Tsukelchi hardly waits for Shota's greeting before he speaks. That's good, isn't it? He doesn't really like the tone in Tsukelchi's voice. That much is, thanks to Hawk, they don't really have a choice. Shota will have to get the hero a nice birthday gift, or something, to repay him. That's not why you're calling me for, is it? There's a sigh on the other end of the line, before his friend answers him. They're making your students testify. Shota gets up from the table and steps outside so that his kids don't see him lose it. He's been supervising a few of them in the kitchen for the past hour or so. They're making a cake to celebrate Kirishima coming to the dorms with his new hearing aids. And Shota doesn't want another kitchen fire. He's not exactly a cook, but he's watched Hizashi enough to know when things are going downhill. He'll just have to hope they survive the next few minutes while he speaks with Tsukelchi. That's bull, and you know it. He's trying not to raise his voice at his friend, but his anger manages to bleed through. I am well aware, Eraserhead. They only informed me out of courtesy. They want all three of them there? Unfortunately. Fuck. Izuku and Kirishima were hardly aware of what was going on. Meanwhile, Todoroki's already having a hard time with this, and they're going to make him talk about the abuse in front of a bunch of strangers? A public trial is our best bet at winning this Shota. He deflates a little and leans on the wall behind him. I know that, Tsukelchi, it's just... He cuts himself off when he sees his husband. He's walking a few feet ahead of Kirishima, who's grinning wide and chatting with Bakugou, who wears the smallest of smiles. His student immediately frowns when he catches him looking. Shota? Yeah, give me a minute. He doesn't need to continue this conversation while his students are in earshot. That's why he went outside in the first place. Sashi pauses in front of him, causing the students to stop as well. Since his husband is blocking the doorway, he gives Shota a questioning glance as he takes in his upset appearance. Detective. He signs this to his husband, but Shota somehow forgot that the two students with him also know sign language. Sashi corrals the students into the dorms and shuts the door behind them, leaving Shota alone once again. His husband knows that he'll tell him later anyways. They're just kids, Tsukelchi. The lawyers will tear them apart. I'm sorry, Shota. There's nothing I could do. We just have to prepare them the best we can. Yeah, I figured. Thanks for letting me know, Tsukelchi. He hangs up and stuffs his phone into his pocket before heading back inside. Might as well see if the kids have started a fire. Everyone looks happy as he enters the kitchen. Sashi is guiding Kirishima on icing the cake, while Sero peers over his shoulders. Meanwhile, Kirishima and Bakugou are seated at the corner working on homework of all things. No one else has joined their group, and Shota figures it's for the best. There's no need to have everyone hyped up on sugar. Everyone freezes when the front door slams open. Shota cautiously moves towards the door, and the patter of feet tells him that his husband and students follow. Thankfully, it's only Todoroki, but the panic look on his face does nothing to ease him. Sensei, Izuku is floating away. God fucking damn it. That actually reminds me of a fic where, or not a fic, a little comic strip where Izuku and Bakugou are kissing and Izuku starts floating again, and Bakugou just grabs his arms and is like, "You're floating," right? I think it would be cute if Izuku and Hitoshi have that. So chapter 77 is of 3 and 9. What? Summary. Shota hopes that Izuku's quirk discoveries won't all be as drastic as this one. That is, I really hope so too. Considering what that could do, you know? I also find it, I find it adorable that they kissed! Oh my god, they kissed! Sorry, everything just, sorry. It just hit me. I'm very sick. I'm super sick. I'm extremely sick. I am beyond sick. In fact, I am sicker than sick. I am sick. Did you know that I am currently sick? Did you know that currently I am very much sick? Super sick, in fact. Okay. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds, have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.